So this video is about how I came to this point, 12 years later, dreadlocks. How did it all start? This is for Mary, who asked for me to make a video about my hair journey. And this is in the book. This is one of the first sections in the book is about my hair journey. So I'm going to expound a little bit from what I put in the book for this video. When, the first memories I have about getting my hair done, I can remember, being in a chair and having a hot comb used. And when it got to the back of my neck, it felt so weird. And I remember getting popped with the comb a lot. Be still, sit down. So there was that. That was not fun, but, once your hair was done, it didn't take long for me to kind of sweat it out. It was hard to be a kid with, what do you call that? Hot combs. It was hard to run around. I mean, the minute you sweat, your hair is back to being nappy at the roots, and that would really kind of upset people. But I do remember just really enjoying the feeling of it being freshly done because I could run my fingers through my hair. But it didn't last long, and it was sort of painful getting there. So once I got into elementary school, at some point my mother put a jerry curl in my hair. And that was, being a kid, you just don't really think about it. But the parts that were unpleasant for me was, one, we lived in white areas because we kept getting robbed when we lived in black areas, to be honest. And so everybody was white around me. So sometimes the kids would touch my hair and it would be full of grease and they'd go, ew, what is all that you put in your hair? Why do you put that in your hair? So that was kind of embarrassing for me. And my mom, God bless her, she had this bottle, a spray bottle of straight glycerin that she would spray into my jerry curl to keep it moisturized. And she would really go to town spraying that stuff. And I remember going to daycare one time, and a black daycare worker just pulled me aside, and she said, "Come here, baby." And she had a paper towel, and she just sopped up glycerin that was in my hair. Sometimes it would be dripping. It was so gross. All over the back of your neck, just slick, greasy, gross. So I was really glad to get rid of jerry curls, and I did complain about them a lot. And my mother, swears to this day that my hair grew so long with jerry curls. I remember getting it like maybe right there. So then after that, I went into middle school, again, white school, and that was when I first got straight perms, relaxers. And I can remember walking through the hallway and the wind catching my hair just right, and it blew in the wind. And that was the first time that happened, really, that my hair was able to blow in the wind that I could remember. And I got so many compliments, and it was just great. I thought it was just great. So then I started to experience it looks really good when you first get it done, and then it just starts to look bad. And I had relaxers all the way up to college, and I never got them done often enough. There'd always be, an inch of new growth underneath it, and it was always breaking off. Whenever I'd go get it done, they would be chiding me about getting it wet in the shower, or, not wrapping it up at night. All these things that I never liked to do. I just didn't like fussing with my hair. I've never enjoyed it. So it never looked right with perms. Never felt right with jerry curls because it was greasy. Never lasted with hot combs. So I come to this, my senior year, and I started taking Dr. Hilliard's classes at UNT. And she teaches African American history. She teaches those classes. And so she talked to us about something called the victimization of the white aesthetic. Well, so this blew my mind. But what it is that basically only white or Caucasian is beautiful. Black is not. And the things associated with being black are not. So, nappy hair, oh, that's bad. Anything but that straight hair and blue eyes and preferably blonde, that's what you see in the media. That's what you see. I never saw myself represented in the media. Not with natural hair. So I started to see that, and I started to look at myself, and I'm one of those people, once I get a theory, I incorporate it and see how it works. And then if I keep it. If it works for me, I keep it. So I just decided to cut my hair off. I remember cutting my hair down pretty short, and I actually had a little straight mohawk for a while because I had a little bit of relaxer left, and I let my new growth go. I guess it wasn't that, yeah, about like that. So I had an afro about like, an inch. And so eventually I cut it all off. And I remember feeling so beautiful the first time I just looked at my own nappy hair, my own afro. I felt beautiful. I was a lot bigger then. I didn't know how to wear makeup at first. That was sort of an adjustment. With the short hair and jewelry and all that. So, and when I talked to my friends about it, they're like, cool. I had a mixture of white and black friends and all sorts of, people from other places. It was college, so there's a lot of exposure. And, I finally just said, I don't know why I was trying to look white anyway. I don't know what that was. I don't know why, I was doing that. But I've come up with is that, you're just taught that from being a little girl. You're taught to straighten your hair or wear wigs and weaves. That's what our mothers do. And that's what I did. And it wasn't until I just woke up and changed and realized that I don't need to try to look white or get closer to looking white. I mean, it doesn't look white anyway. It just doesn't make any sense. And I realized, finally that this doesn't make any sense. And I changed. And I'm really glad I did. So how I came to dreadlocks is that I didn't want to comb that afro. I was deeply terrified of combing through my afro. So I didn't. And then this happened. It's really what it is. That is the book in a nutshell, but nobody would buy it. You really just leave your afro alone. And that's how we got here. So that's my hair journey in, 8.5 minutes. Right. So I hope that helps. Please continue to request videos. I love to hear from you guys. I really enjoy this little community that we have. So, thank you.